It's Friday.
I will fucking stab you.
I really don't know the song. All I know is those lyrics. It's Friday. Yeah, it's Friday. That means it's Bloody Screen Podcast. Alright. Before we get started with the show, I want to throw some things out there. Being that we're starting our playthroughs, and I do apologize in advance, I did not realize the audio was that off. I thought it was maybe a couple seconds off, but it's like a good 6 seconds off, which is noticeable. So, with our first playthrough preview of Scourge Outbreak, it is a little off. I apologize. It's just, that shit takes a long time to upload, so I'm not gonna try to fuck with it. Plus, I'm doing this for no money at all, so, yeah, that's what's happening. Also, the Movie Thing podcast is kind of on hiatus right now. I'm probably gonna continue the Movie Thing podcast just because it's on a Sunday. It's not getting in the way of anything. But the Men Without Tights, that new one we just started. Yep, I'm axing it. Yep, that's done. I'm not juggling that much shit on my plate. I'm sorry. So enjoy the 2 episodes we have. Woo!
We covered everything we needed, Marvel and DC.
Yeah, we covered Marvel and DC. So yeah, unless like somehow a big outbreak says bring back the comic one, yeah, it's axed, which it probably won't be.
From all 20 of you.
Yeah. Woo! Bloody Screen Podcast. How you guys doing?
Doing pretty well.
Fucking-tastic.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic. Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of Nick L. Other Nick, Hawaiian Nick. I've been seeing a lot of him this week. Holy crap. So yeah, we got a couple more videos. They're gonna, I'm still gonna put them up because we took the time to record them. So yeah, we're gonna show some Castlevania playthroughs. If Dustin wants to continue doing it, it's going to be his thing if he wants to continue or not. If not, we may just stop that one also. Basically, I'm changing the playthrough things around people. People who watch maybe the first episode of the playthrough things. I'm changing them around so that way we get more new games. We're only going to do about half-hour segments like we did with the first preview one, where we'll switch off 15 minutes into the game. And just keep it kind of short and simple, just to give you a taste of what the game's going to be like. And then we're going to pick one game, only one, and do 20 to whatever, kind of 20 around there minutes. And we're going to try to play through that one game. We're not going to try to juggle around, everyone picks a game. No, that was a bad idea. I didn't realize that until we started and being like, fuck, this would take forever. So we're picking one game. And it's going to be a game that actually has a story to it, not a side-scrolling game. Because, I don't know. The last one that we had up, I don't know if I'm even going to post it because we were getting worn out, folks. We recorded like 4 or 5 videos at that time, so we were getting pretty beat down. So, yeah, we're going to try not to juggle that many videos in one day. But anyways, I had to get all that, bullshit site business out of the way. How you guys doing? Oh, yeah, I already asked that. Alright, Nick, you wanted to bring up anything, or you want to wait on it?
We can wait after the news.
Alright, we'll get in. What do you want, news or top 5?
We'll start with top 5.
Top 5!
I'm on news!
That's too late, you already said top 5. This is for July 6th. I'm not going to get into why it's July 6th, but July 6th! Alright, number 5 is kind of surprising to me, because, wow, that just came out of fucking nowhere. Number 5 is MLB 13 The Show.
There's a shocker.
It is a shocker, being that came out like in February or March.
Oh.
The fact that that's still there, no. Believe me, I try to stay on top of the games that are coming out, and wow. How the fuck did this game just shoot up like this? Like, I would love to know. Unless it's, I have to admit, I'm kind of blind to sports games, so this game might have came out recently.
I'm pretty sure it did.
I want to say it did. Here, let's find out real quick, because honestly, Global Tour, I guess it came out recently. It's not telling me the release date.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, some on top of games person you are.
Well, I just told you I'm kind of blind to sports games, because
this is your job.
Oh yeah, this is a job. I make no money at it. It's a volunteer job. A volunteer job. Yeah, you go talk to the volunteer workers at the soup kitchen, see how dedicated they are. Actually, some of them probably are. I don't know. Number 4. This is basically the same top 5 except for MLB this show. But number 4 is Call of Duty Black Ops 2. Yep. Still there. People still buying the game. I don't know who. I don't know who hasn't played it except Nikki G, but...
I would have thought everyone who wanted to play it kind of had it already.
I don't know. Unless people sold it and then rebought it, and that's what we're seeing as the people who sold it and rebought it. I don't know. I don't know who else is getting it. Unless, some kid got it for his birthday. Unless this is, birthday shit going on. Like a bunch of summer birthdays or whatever. Or maybe a couple Father's Days. I don't know. Number
Father's
3.
Day was a month ago, bruh.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't know. It's been in the top 5 for the entire month of June and now starting July. You answer me this. I don't know why it's still there, besides the fact it's Call of Duty, and apparently Call of Duty just owns the video game industry. Alright, number 3 is Minecraft. Came out last month. Disc-based version. Yeah, we've talked to the extent about Minecraft. I'm not a fan. None of us are really big fans, so yeah.
Except for Dustin, but he's not here today, so he gets no say.
Yeah, actually, last week he didn't even get to defend it because he joined in after the top 5, and I'm just like, yeah. Me and Nikki G kind of went off on it a little bit, saying who the fuck, it's not good. And every week we have to talk about the game, and I'm just like, God, I'm so sick of Minecraft. People buy another game. I don't care. Go buy. Fucking, I don't care.
Most of the people buying Minecraft though is those little kids where that's the only game they're allowed to play.
I don't know, and I don't know. The guy, I criticize it, but I'm kind of pissed off that, I didn't think of that first. The guy who made Minecraft is rolling in money. He's like Scrooge McDuck by now, or he can dive into his little...
And he's like, it took me $100 to make this game.
Honestly, literally, this looks like something the starting grounds of making a game. That's really what it looks like. It's just it's the bare minimum of the starting grounds. Okay, we gotta make a game. Well, let's just let them make their own fun. I don't know. It's the same, phenomenon. It's kind of the same way I don't get how The Sims make money. I just don't understand it. I guess I'm so used to, I have to murder everything in a video game, and then when you give me a video game where there's no murder, I'm just kind of, what? What is this?
Again, kids who can't play those kind of games.
So what? When I was a kid, I was still killing monsters and stuff. It wasn't people, but it was still monsters. I don't know. Number 2, also kind of the same thing as it was last week. Animal Crossing. A new leaf for the 3DS. Yeah, that's still going as well. I don't really know what else we can add to Animal Crossing except for I never played it. Nick, you say it's fun.
It was when I was a kid. I haven't played it recently, but...
Well, I mean, it's a 3DS game, so this one I sort of understand, Kids,
again, I'm
women.
going to say kids.
Kids, yeah. Well, yeah, the kids have a big market on that, especially with Nintendo. All right, number 1 is a game I actually understand, and it's probably going to be on top for, I want to say at least 2 more weeks, but because there ain't shit coming out in July. But The Last of Us. Yeah, it's number 1. We've heard my review. We've heard Dustin's review. Nick, you haven't got around to playing it yet.
No.
Neither one of you. Dustin owns it, so it's not like it's not going to be that hard to get.
Walter owns it too.
Walter owns it as well, but Walter likes to hoard his shit. I don't know. Yeah, it's The Last of Us. It's the zombie game that's sweeping the nation. I gave it a B, I think. I'm not 100%. Maybe I gave it an A. I know Dustin gave it an A.
You gave it an A.
Did I give it an A? I'm
yeah.
glad you remember. I was like, because I have my flaws with it, but yet again, I put the disclaimer there of I was trying to fly through this game. So, try not to fly through the game, and, it is a great game. It is. And it deserves number 1, especially with the shit that's below it. I mean, seriously. Oh, a bunch of old games. And The Last of Us. So, yeah, that's our top 5. Nothing new. Hardly can talk about it. Yeah, I'm glad someone just said, let's get this out of the way. So we can before we get into the big news story, we'll get into the smaller news story of Obsidian Entertainment is trying to get developed, basically a sci-fi game that's like Skyrim. It's using the Skyrim engine. And, it's what they say, it's gonna be a mixture between Mass Effect, Borderlands, and System Shock 2. Where they'd navigate between variety of worlds linked together by one massive space station.
That sounds pretty dope.
That would be awesome. One problem, and I already mentioned the name. It's Obsidian. You guys familiar with Obsidian, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They don't make the best games. Like, I like Knights of the Old Republic 2, but it doesn't hold a candle to the first one. Basically, Obsidian has done this little fun thing. I don't, they usually, for the most part, they take properties that are popular and kind of crap on them. Like, they took Dungeon Siege 3. I know neither one of you played that. That game was pretty shit. Fallout New Vegas. I'm not the biggest Fallout fan, but it had bugs up the ass. Like, our friend Connor, he had to sit through the entire game because the game would not save for him. Or just, like, it would say it saved, but it didn't actually save. So he sat down and played through the whole thing, which he's a fucking champ, because that's a long goddamn game, so. And then they also made Alpha Protocol, which was meh. And they don't have the best track record of games. They're currently making the new South Park game, and they're on, and something about Project Eternity, some Kickstarter they're trying to get up. But, it sounds like a cool concept. I just want Obsidian to do well, which, amazes me how Obsidian stays in business when they're making meh games, but a company like THQ goes out of business for them making pretty awesome games like Saints Row and Darksiders. So, it's kind of weird. I mean, granted, Obsidian's just a developer, not a publisher and a developer, so maybe there's a link between there, but, beside the point, it's quite amazing how some companies that kind of shoot out crap stay in business. Alright. So this one, I was reading this news story and it kind of started pissing me off. Some Kentucky senator is trying to, he's basically, we talked about this last week, with my thing going off in Australia. But fucking A, you gotta be kidding me with this shit. Alright, so now he's trying to get the link. They're saying, like, well, the Sandy Hook massacre may not have occurred with games, but it does, maybe he played games, and maybe we gotta, basically they're saying they gotta find a link between people with mental illnesses and violence in video games. And they're trying to go up to, and Biden, this is what kind of drove me nuts. Okay, so Biden has actually said that there will be no legal problem with taxing violent video games. I'm like, what, so charging people, like charging the companies to make violent video games, that's gonna stop the whole thing. You fucking morons.
They make their paychecks on violent video games.
I know. I was like, that's the only fucking thing that sells. It's because we, as human species, like violence. I hate to say it. We do. Look how fucking violent our past was. We used to watch men in arena slaughter each other. Which, honestly, I would love if that came back. That's me. Because I think I'd like to see gladiatorial combat. But that would be awesome. But, honestly, okay, hypothetically, if they found a link between, say, someone who's kind of fucking nuts, and he plays violent video games, and as they put it, sends him over the edge, what are you gonna do then? You just gonna ban violent video games from everybody else? Billions of other people who are right in the fucking head who can play violent video games and just be like, yeah, it's a video game.
The people, the people that use the violent video games as a stress relief?
As a stress relief, or just enjoy it, or they just find them fun, because I hate to say it, guys, fucking Mario bores the shit out of me.
It does.
If every game had to be rated E or rated even teen, I don't want to go back to those days. If you think about it, the old generation, the Xbox, PS2, a lot of it was actually rated teen. Most of the games were. You got a couple of them that were rated M, and one of the biggest games that came out in the last generation was rated M, God of War. And that one sold like fucking mad wildfire. I mean, that's one of the most popular Sony franchises.
Yeah, don't forget the Resident Evils.
And Resident Evils, and I'm trying to think of another even Fable was pretty good, like selling-wise. I know it was a good game, but, I mean, violent video games sell great, and the fact, the gaming industry, I don't want to give the bloodsuckers any, support, but the video game industry is kind of struggling enough as it is. They don't have, the leg like the movie industry does. And, I just love how they, they're all attacking video games, but yet, we see violent movies all the fucking time. Like, there's movies that go way beyond what I've seen in video games.
Hell, violent TV shows.
Oh yeah, even TV shows are getting more fucking violent. Hell, I was in the break room at work yesterday, and it was some horrible vampire show, whatever that was playing. But they were showing blood. They actually had a torture scene in it. I'm like, are you fucking? This is TV. I mean, so I don't want this all to be put on video games, but then again, I don't want them just putting it on all the media saying, no violence at all.
I don't want to put it on anything with a psychopath that played it.
I know. I'm sorry. Some people are just butt crazy, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, like the whole thing with the guy who read Catcher in the Rye and shot John Lennon.
Oh yeah, exactly.
You know what?
He read a book.
I read that book. That book is not violent at all. That book's just retarded.
Yeah, he saw that, or what was it? Or that dude that he was brought up. He went up and shot I made this example last week, but I'll make it again. God damn it. He was raised up in an ultra Christian house where he couldn't do anything. He was kind of abused as well, but he went fucking up crazy and started shooting up a little school. Yeah, what was his thing there? Maybe it was just the way he was fucking raised. It just drives me nuts.
This is like the equivalent of saying, hey, this psychopath ate an orange before he committed these horrible acts. So we have banned oranges because they are obviously the problem.
I know, honestly. It's like, he likes wearing blue jeans. Everybody wears blue jeans, must be insane. Fuck off.
You know what it is? It's the government trying to put a spin on it to come up with a reason why he did it instead of just saying, yeah, I guess he just felt like doing it.
I honestly, it's everyone's trying to point a finger at something. It's not the guns, it's not the games, it's not the TV, it's not the fact that he wears blue jeans. It's just him. So, I mean, the only thing you can do, this is not even really possible either, is make a mandatory, psych screening for everybody. Everybody has to take some psychological test. But then again, everyone's different. So if, honestly, we were playing that Cards Against Humanity. If they did that type of shit in a psych test, I would be labeled clinically insane, just because I think some of that shit is just funny as hell. I mean, it's just, just because some people have a sick sense of humor or something, I don't know. It's just one of those things where you can't do anything. There is no one answer. You can't just be like, well, we gotta start taxing the video game industry. That doesn't make any goddamn sense. Oh my god. Yeah, so, at least the Supreme Court is ruling that, so far it's been it's still, all that shit is protected in the First Amendment. I mean, for God's, everyone's always saying, well, think of the children with the violent games. If you were a responsible parent,
yes.
they're not going to be able to play that game. I hate to say it. If you actually paid attention to what your kids were doing, they wouldn't be able to play it. Even if you're like, well, what if they took it or something, or, blah, 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 they borrowed it at a friend's house? Well, then guess what? Maybe you just have to be a little bit more responsible.
And that's exactly what it is. It's parents who don't know how to...
Look at me, I didn't play an M-rated game until I was 16.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Or maybe 14. I was old.
Well, now see, okay, my family was pretty lenient on it because they kind of have the same mentality on me. When I was a kid, I wasn't, playing God of War or anything, but my dad would be like, oh, you want to shoot Nazis? That's cool, dude. You can shoot Nazis. Or you want to play, a Lord of the Rings game and slaughter orcs? They're villains, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's not, it's not like I think they wouldn't let me play GTA or anything because they were responsible parents. They weren't like, okay, you can't run around killing prostitutes or civilians. Let's keep it violent, but let's keep it, good versus evil violent. Come on. I mean, hell, I watched Gladiator at the age of 6 or something,
I did too. My parents, video games were big. No, I couldn't play them. I could barely play T-rated video games, but movies I didn't give a shit about.
Kind of
I was watching Aliens and shit from the day I was born. That's the mentality of
everybody, the government and all these people, all these religious groups, everyone who's been marketing against it. I was like, assholes, you guys are all letting your kids watch violence on TV. How is that any different than them playing a video game? Yeah, sure, video games are more immersive, but it's still the same amount of violence. And actually, Hollywood has way more believable violence than fucking video games ever believed. Video games, half the time, it looks like strawberry jam. So, I mean, which one of these is more real? I mean, fucking on TV, like, you see someone's guts spilling out, and you're like, oh, wow. Actually, well, depending who you are, you might be, oh, wow, or, ho.
Yeah, I mean, just look at, The Walking Dead. That show is violent and gory as hell.
I mean, granted, it always gets me his teeth, though. If I always see teeth get knocked, ugh.
Yeah, or curb stomp.
Oh, yeah. But anyways, yeah, goddamn, I find these news stories about dumb fucking people doing dumb fucking shit. Saying stupid shit, and pisses me off. I was getting mad reading that whole thing. When I was reading, I was just like, oh, this Kentucky I just want to punch him in the face. Oh.
Well, it's from Kentucky.
I know, it was like, yeah, hey, how would you, go back to your, I don't know, just go fuck your cousin like you southern piece of shit. Oh my god, I hope we don't have any fans.
Well, I think it is too, just because, I mean, the video game industry is a less understood thing, especially because, you don't have that older generation playing it.
Well, see, that's literally all that's left is the old people. I mean, I think we talked about this last week too, once those people are done, because people who lived who were like teenagers in the 80s and up, all played video games. They all know what it's about. The majority of those people are like, yeah, it's just a fucking video game. Whatever. Like, my own father in his 40s is just, yeah, he likes playing fucking Call of Duty all the time. He doesn't give a shit. And, it's just all the older people who still have a voice. We should have them. I know. They need to have the tooth fist rule with the old people now, because their views are too damn old. Anyways. That joke fell on false ears. God damn it. We did have a fan, ask, well, he wrote in the comments of last week's show, and I did respond to him, but I wanted to ask you guys this. He asked us, what kind of single player, what kind of players annoy us, single or multi?
Well, the screaming 12-year-olds who think they're hot shit kind of annoy me.
Yes, they're, the screaming 12-year-old racist bastards, yeah. That's what makes me not play multiplayer at all. Actually.
And the backseat gamer really annoys me. The backseat gamer.
Oh, so Dustin? No, the backseat gaming does kind of annoy me at times. I mean, if I ask for your help, that's perfectly fine. But
yeah, but if they're just like, no, don't go that way. That way's the wrong way. Shut the fuck up and let me experience it.
I told him this. I replied to him in this, and he might wonder why there was 2 replies, because honestly, I wrote it somewhere else and then I copy paste it, but for some reason my copy paste with my mouse likes to copy it twice. I don't know why, and I don't catch it all the time. So, yeah. Jason, did tell you that mine was people who brag about video games annoys the fuck out of me. People who sit there either bragging. Basically, there's a guy I know. There's one in particular. He'll brag about how fucking good he is at a game, and that drives me up the wall because I don't give a shit. He was talking about Fire Emblem, the new game that came out this year for the 3DS. He was telling me it was a little while back how he was playing it, but he got it and he needs to keep getting new games because he beat that on all the difficulties. It was so easy, he just sat down and played it all. I don't give a fuck how good you are at a game. I don't care. If I play something on easy, I don't want to hear anything on comments saying, well, you played on it. Now, fuck off. I experienced the same goddamn game. Or I don't want to, God, that really annoys me. Or people who be like, oh, how about you? I have like my own uncle who does that to me. He's like, why don't you play it on the hardest difficulty? I was like, because I'm not a sadist. Why would I?
Masochist.
Masochist. Thank you. He's a sadist.
Don't be like our good friend Dustin, who will buy a game, put it on the hardest difficulty immediately, and then wonder why he can't beat it.
That's exactly my uncle. I remember I was playing like God of War 3. I borrowed his copy, and I played all the way through it. I beat it, and I played on like normal. And then I gave back to him. He's like, "Oh, you beat it already?" I'm like, "What? You haven't beaten this game? It's been out for a while." And he's like, "Yeah, no, I put it on hard, and I'm stuck." I'm like, "Okay, I'm gonna say, I honestly believe the hard difficulty is when you've already beaten the game. You know what to do, and then you want to have more of a challenge. That is what hard is there for."
That's kind of what I do. Like, I'll play a game on like easy or normal depending on the game, and then if I like the game, I'll work my way up the difficulties.
For the most part with me, unless I'm trying to fly through a game, if I'm trying to fly through a game, I put it on easy and just go through it. For the most part, I like to keep shooters, hack and slashes, all those kind of on the normal difficulty, and then RPGs I leave on the easiest because I, for some reason, am a moron and I cannot spec my character right. Oh, yeah, Nick, by the way, what kind of players annoy you? Nicky D.
Oh, fuck, strap in. Well,
strap in, strap on.
Oh my god. I was gonna make the strap on joke, but I was like, no, it's too easy,
Well, I mean, it's people who don't really know what they're doing, like, especially WoW, because WoW, I mean, feel free to ask questions, but, basically, WoW, you don't have really a team deathmatch unless you're doing arena, and a lot of it really is team-based games, so you gotta capture the flag, capture the base, and all that kind of stuff. And it's players who don't exactly know what they're doing. I mean, early on in the brackets, like the lower level ones, it's kind of fine, you understand these are most likely new players, but some of them you could get really pissed off. Like, it's just common sense for most of the stuff. I mean, it's not like, it's not like kind of you'd get from Battlefield 3, where it's like, oh, okay, I know these guys are just, most of the time they're just, first-person shooter players, and they just run off shooting people, where in World of Warcraft games, you really do need to work with your team if you want to win, and especially because if you win, you get to more points than you would just be killing people, and you also get the braggers, kind of like how you were saying, Brandon, and they'll be like, oh, look at me, I got this many kills, and it's like, it doesn't matter, we each got fucking spanked as a team.
I had one more to add to what players do that just drive me nuts in multiplayer. People who basically get a little too into it, basically, kind of annoys me. Like, say, okay, perfect example was, God, I don't want to really be on a Dustin bashing hour right now. Believe me, I'm not trying to be on a Dustin bashing hour, but
he's just the perfect example of everything we don't like.
Nothing against you, Dustin. You're an awesome guy. It's just sometimes your gaming habits. Like, okay, basically, me and Nick, when we play Call of Duty Online, we're shitty. We're pretty bad. I mean, we're not the worst on the team.
It doesn't help that, I don't know about you, but I don't give a shit.
I don't ever give a shit either. I play Call of Duty how you play Call of Duty. You run around and get shot, killed, and that's what you do. And I will use those quote-unquote noob weapons, too. I don't give a fuck. I'm like, hey, guess what? The game presents it. I'm gonna use it. Anyways, Dustin's one of those people, though, that would, if you're playing a game with him sometimes, not all the time, he will kind of get upset with you when you're not doing the right thing to do in the multiplayer match, where you're either fucking around or whatever. See, fucking around doesn't bother me at all in a multiplayer match, because it's just a game. I don't give a shit. It's not...
Yeah, like those times I decided to crawl around the edge of the map to see how far I could get before I died.
That was funny. Or you would just, I remember many matches, you would just run around the map, and if they got in your way, you would kill them. If not, whoop, not my problem. Yeah.
Or when I committed, 76 suicides in one match.
How you and I, when we play Gears, are the worst teammates to have on your horde team. Because me and Nick, people, if you play Gears with us at all, basically what we like to do is we find a nice little stronghold, and especially with Gears 3 where you can really just put defenses down, and we will make that our stronghold. We will make that the Alamo. Yeah, that is our Alamo. And we don't give a fuck if you are out in the battlefield and you're down, you're like, help me, and we're just standing there and just, you should have been,
come to us!
Crawl over here, quick! And then watch your brains get stepped on, like, well, you didn't crawl fast enough.
I don't know, the worst was Gears 2 on day one, when you and me just hid behind that wall they couldn't get over.
The glitch, if two people are behind the wall, then no one can jump over. And so we would just sit back there. And it's the perfect way to get through 50 rounds in Gears 2 if people, if you're looking for those pro tips. Yeah, basically no one can get over, no one can touch you because you have to cover on all 4 sides. So you're pretty safe, and it's just funny as hell when someone's trying to retreat and we're both back there just, no, you made your choice.
We're just looking over the wall. What's the password?
It was funny. Yeah. So maybe we're the people that annoy you when you play games where we're kind of the guys that dick around half the time.
Well, I mean, it's not that. I mean, I'm not the kind of guy that's going to go around and, you know, start commanding people what to do, because, you know, I hate those kind of guys, especially if they don't know what they're doing. But it's just a point where it's just kind of like, you know, there's a point where you should kind of know what to do, like, just common sense, like, and WoW, you know, it's kind of like, oh, you know, you should always kill their healer first, and once their healer's dead, you could kill the rest of their guys, no problem. Or, you know, there's one time I was just, it was capture the flag, and I was a rogue, which they generally, you know, they could turn invisible, and they could do these really devastating hits for the first hit. And I took this guy, his health was like really low, probably about 3/4 down, and there's another rogue in front of me, and the other rogue just let the person run right past them. And I was just like, what the fuck? I mean, the person wasn't even as geared as I was, which I'm not trying to brag there, but it was just like, the fact that his health was so low, that person could have taken him down in their first shot too, and I was just like, Jesus Christ, really? It's just common sense.
Nick, you would hate playing with me on any MMO, because honestly, okay, Dustin experienced this firsthand, and I don't blame him for getting kind of annoyed with the way I was playing. Him and I got Guild Wars 2 last year, and I got it to review for the other site, and I am the worst at fucking MMOs. Because the laptop I was using, the numbers and the letters, they're, it's a normal keyboard, but it was a smaller keyboard, so, the buttons are closer. And so I was trying to, like Q was the roll or something. I would try to press 1 to attack. I'd press Q, start rolling around. And basically, if you weren't me, you would see this just hilarity. This guy with hardly any armor on because he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. So I'm wearing like a tunic or a muumuu. Let's just call it. I'm wearing a muumuu with a sword, like a wooden sword and a like plastic shield. And I'm just I'm rolling around, and then eventually I'll do 1 attack, and then for 2 damage. It was pathetic, and here Dustin is like being a badass. He would clear out the whole room, and I maybe would get 1 guy. Cause half the time I'm just like, I'm trying to figure out how to walk. Hold on. Wait up, where are you going? Hold on. It's not like I don't know how to type, cause it's not like I don't know my way around the keyboard. It was just one of those things, for some reason, my fingers are so adjusted to a controller that when you try to get me to just have this weird, it was just something I could not do. It was
especially because laptop keyboards are smaller.
It was smaller, so. And it was just I don't know. It was just weird. It was bad. It was a sad sight to see. So anyone who was around me during the Guild Wars 2 would see the pathetic Professor Fett getting his ass kicked. All right, Nikki G, what'd you want to bring up?
Okay, first question. Have you guys seen the GTA 5 gameplay thing lately?
I did not see any. I've only seen the trailers, have not seen any gameplay.
Well, either way,
I did not.
All right, well,
what do you guys think of the trailers anyways?
I like the fact they're, I'm not sticking with one protagonist. I think that's going to be kind of a novel idea, a switch in between the 3 guys. And I did hear about the gameplay, something like, you just, you just switch automatically between the 3 guys, or how is that?
You can, between these, different quests, I guess, or missions, you could, switch off in between them, and they're not standing there and, in their house just sitting there. Sometimes they're actually, doing shit. So, if you were playing as Michael, the bank robber, you'd switch over to Trevor, and he could be in already, running from the cops because he did something stupid.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. But yeah, I can't wait for me when I'm playing that game, switch over to Trevor or something, and all of a sudden he's in a shootout with the cops. I'm like, what the fuck? And he has some brass knuckles, and that's all he's got. And he's just sitting there
You switch over, he's already getting arrested. Okay, time to go back to Michael.
You just automatically lose money. God damn it. Now, I think it's kind of a novel idea, because you got kind of the ex-bank robber, the kind of cool badass, the character I'm rooting for in the story, the ex-bank robber. You got the up-and-coming gangster who's like a repo man and a gangster on the side. And then you got the ex-military, I think he was, but complete nutso drug addict And that guy's just gonna be fun to play because that dude just looks like a worthless sack of shit. And I like to play, that's one thing that I liked about Max Payne 3 is playing some worthless piece of shit. So I'm pretty excited for that game,
And I mean, I feel like switching between the three guys will kind of damper the story, but it's a Grand Theft Auto game. No one plays that for the fucking story.
I heard 4 was actually a pretty good story. I don't know if you remember it.
Yeah, I remember it. I never beat it because it was hard as shit.
But you know what? Grand Theft Autos are so fucking long that they can actually make a more condensed story with 3 different people. I think they can do it. Because I don't think they're gonna do what, Resident Evil 6 did, where they try to have 3 different stories and they just ended up kind of really making it all convoluted and weird and didn't really...
3, 2-hour stories?
Yeah, 3 2-hour stories, but they didn't connect as well as they were probably hoping to, in my opinion. As long as these ones can not jump around in the timeline, I don't want it jumping around the timeline if they're going to do 3 separate stories. Let's just do 3 stories, this is what they're doing. And, I mean, granted, you could jump, it's just one continuous with 3 different characters. That could work. We don't all need the Pulp Fiction, this is what was happening at this time. No, fuck that, I don't want that. Okay, I'm done with that. It's been done many times. But, what'd you think of you actually saw the gameplay, Nicky G. What'd you think of it, though?
It really looks good. I mean, it's one of those things where it's just our 3 characters also are working together. So you get one scene in the trailer where they're robbing some kind of a business, and they're kind of suspended up. They're suspended from the roof, and you have Trevor manning a sniper rifle in on the building across the way. And so he's providing cover while you as Michael, or I forget who the gangster's guy's name is, but you're pretty much abducting the freaking guy working at the business. Or I think one of the main things that thing that gave me a freaking erection was the multiplayer, because it's just right now the map is freaking huge, and it looks really great. And the multiplayer, you could have I'm not sure what the exact number is. I'm just gonna guess maybe around 20 or more people on the map.
Jesus.
And in the trailer, you see people driving around in vehicles. You see some guy with a jet flying by.
They're bringing the jets back.
Yeah, and so you also get, I think I heard someone say you could buy a building or something in multiplayer. So that's kind of cool. But this is one of those things where it's kind of making me wonder what game I'll get, which kind of leads me to my next question, which is, would you pick Grand Theft Auto 5 or Saints Row 4?
Oh, fuck. I don't know. I love the batshit craziness of Saints Row. They're just going all out, but fuck, dude, that's like kill your firstborn son or your secondborn son. No matter what, you're just going to be missing out on something, or you're going to do something. You're just like, oh, fuck. I don't know. Personally, hopefully, when I, try to get more shit going on, I might be able to get both, hopefully, but, ooh. Dude, don't make me choose between the kids. Don't make me choose between the kids. Nick, what about you?
Well, I've never played a Saints Row game, so makes my choice pretty simple.
Nick, I think I figured out what game we're going to do a playthrough of. Because I own Saints Row the Third, and that game is fucking crazy and fun. So I think I know what we're going to do. Yeah, no, you mentioned the map, though, of Grand Theft Auto 5. That was a little intimidating, I'm going to be honest with you. Just having that, from what I heard, and this may be factual, or that just may be hyping the game a lot, is, okay, basically the city in Grand Theft Auto 4 is going to be one island in 5. And
where does 5 take place?
California.
Is there, there's San Andreas, California, or California actual?
I'm not sure. It didn't really. Well, I'm not sure if I wasn't paying attention or not, but it didn't really mention a city yet.
Okay, they might be doing a whole.
Sure,
it's just the entire state.
It could be. I don't know about you guys. I never even saw all of Grand Theft Auto 4. There was just so much shit in there. I never got around to seeing all of it, and I hardly got anywhere in San Andreas. So, I like how GTA is changing though, because 4 really showed how you can have a quote-unquote gangster character, but him be actually a likable gangster character. Because I don't know about you guys, San Andreas started pissing me off. I did not like those characters. I was like, okay, this is like, all those
racist.
No. It wasn't because they were black. I played plenty of black main characters. I don't want to hear about that. As in plenty, I think of 2 I can think of off the top of my head.
Is one of them Cole?
One of them Cole?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I was thinking of Lee from Walking Dead and the guy from Prototype 2. Those were both, Prototype 2 was kind of a meh character just because he was uninteresting, but Walking Dead, he is an awesome main character. Anyways, it was the fact that they would, basically, people who don't know me, I am a very white human being, and I do not like the gangster rap or anything to do with gangstas.
All that
hippity-happity, I don't like that. I don't tell people you can't listen to it unless you're white, then I kind of judge you for that, but I'm just like, you live in the suburbs, you're not gangster. Neither are they, but, it's just that bad. Basically, I can't, it just kind of made me dislike the characters, so I just stopped playing the story.
Well, it was the first game that taught me the N-word, that's for sure.
Honestly. I was like, that had more N-words than Django.
That's because Django's a 3-hour movie and San Andreas is like a 13-hour game.
Dude, shut up with your logic and shit. Okay, in one sentence in San Andreas had more N-words. I know, I'm kind of on Louis C.K. about that, where just don't say the word N-word because you're making me think of it. But as a man with a little white guilt, I can't just go out and start screaming that over the internet, as many people do anyways, but that's beside the point.
Freedom of speech, brother.
It is freedom of speech, but I don't want to come off as the racist white guy on the internet. I try to keep it good, clean, yeah.
I think by throwing that racial bridge in there, you're being a racist.
Throwing what racial bridge? Saying I'm not going to be a racist on the internet?
Yeah.
How is that being racist?
But you're discriminating against them by not giving their equality.
It's not like I'm sitting up here saying, honky this, honky that. I don't mind saying honky because it's not offensive to anybody. Actually.
You jive turkey.
I remember when Connor was trying to keep calling people that. I was like, dude, that's not offensive to anybody. If I grew up in the 60s, maybe I'd be like, hey, don't call me that. But...
You yellow belly.
You yellow belly. Oh shit! Wow. All right. Shit. What is that? What did anything else you want to bring up there, Nick?
Yeah. Well, I mean, my decision. I think I might be like along you, depending. I haven't seen the release date for it yet.
They're coming out the same month. I know that.
Oh shit! Okay.
If I'm either they're coming out the same month or fucking close as hell, because I was looking at the release dates because I'm already having this dilemma with Assassin's Creed 4 and Batman Origins, and I'm just like, oh fuck you. What is wrong? Why can't you guys release one of these games in like say July, where our biggest game coming out is Dynasty Warriors 8?
Because they know that the holiday season sells the best, especially with the new consoles coming out.
I know. They're smart about it, just like, summer blockbusters all like to come out during the summer because, that's when all the kids are out. People are more willing to go to the theater. And just like during their holiday season, we get kind of the shitty movies for the most part. It's, it's just driving me up the wall. It's like, why can't we just have both industries just...
No. Holiday movies get good. Like, the holiday season gets good movies. It's just everything in between.
No. December gets shit movies. November gets pretty decent movies. And then...
November gets good because people go see movies for Thanksgiving and shit.
See, no one's going to go to the theater during December, so they kind of release either Christmas movies or some piece of crap that they're just throwing out. But we'll save that.
The worst is spring. Spring is by far the worst.
I don't know. Our last spring wasn't bad.
Movie places say, April is the worst time to release movies.
I saw good movies during April. This April was pretty good. I actually saw better movies this April than so far this summer, I want to say. I'm trying to think.
And besides, you're dogging on the holiday season, but you know what movie comes out in the holiday season? The Hobbit.
The Hobbit is true. That is a December movie, and you know why? Because Peter Jackson's a fucking genius saying, hey, guess what movie everyone's gonna see? Mine. They ain't gonna see your movie. They'll see my movie like 8 times before they see your movie once.
And you know, Peter Jackson's done that since the fucking first Lord of the Rings
Lord of the
movie.
Rings Fellowship, I thought came out in June.
No, they all came out in November.
I don't really. That's the only one I never saw in theaters was Fellowship. I do remember the other 2 in November. I do remember that. I fucking love those movies.
Yeah, because they all came out a year apart from each other.
But we're talking about movies, Nick, so we're gonna try to stop that. I mean, we're just kind of shooting the shit right now, but I try to, try to save something.
By the way, it came out December 19th. Right. Last final word.
Right, well, like I said, I never actually saw Fellowship in theaters, so that was the one that I actually saw on DVD, and then I was like, oh my god! And Cream.
Your first one in 2001.
2001, yeah. So it's just like,
when you were 8.
I feel funny. Oh yeah. Oh, that was.
Well, I think the thing that's going to sell me, I mean, because Saints Row 4, that's really kind of like they really brought up with the batshit crazy. You having kind of superpowers and fighting aliens.
I want to see some gameplay of Saints Row 4 though, because I don't know if they're the same developer. Because I know they got, but I'm pretty sure it's the same developer but different publisher. So I want to see what the publisher is telling them to do.
I mean, they have gameplay.
Do they?
Like, there's people who, they have people who, I mean, it might not be like, official from like IGN or anything like that. I mean, they might, but the ones I saw were just, people who have other sites that are playing them, like when they went to E3.
Oh, really? Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
I do want to see, some more gameplay, kind of like what GTA did. I will look up that trailer, or that, I guess, I don't know, gameplay trailer for GTA 5, because I am really curious to see how that plays. Did you see if they fixed the shooting mechanic, though?
I didn't really. They didn't really show, like, it was, I mean, there's more kind of glimpses of gameplay along with trailer. Like, it's just kind of going over kind of like all the stuff in the world and what you're kind of going to be able to do.
I don't know if you remember this, you two, but GTA 4 had a fucking shitty shooting mechanic. It was terrible.
It wasn't that bad.
It was pretty bad. Compared to, like, another Rockstar games, like, Max Payne and Red Dead being the other big one that would be, like, more like GTA. Red Dead had an awesome shooting mechanic compared to GTA.
The only problem I had with GTA was, like, in the multiplayer, when it auto-locked onto everything.
True.
But it auto-locked on everything you weren't shooting at, like your partner.
It would always lock onto your partner and be like, no, we're trying to shoot at the cops! What are you doing? Stop this. Oh, good times. Nick, I don't know, Nick, I kind of want us both to get GTA 5 because our endless hours of fucking dicking around.
Oh my god, that was
that's
great.
Something I would...
like 4-hour session of just shooting each other out of the air with rocket launchers.
That's something we would put up on our site, is us dicking around in the Grand Theft Auto, because that is something for people to see, because we would have a goddamn blast doing that, but, I'm trying to, I don't know, and we...
I mean,
9 minutes of anonymous bullshit!
Well, it's fun. We don't... Honestly, I mean, we don't, if you wanted to do, like, the last 10 minutes of, bullshit game reviews, I don't know, that was always filler, was the game reviews, because otherwise sometimes we'd only have, like, a half-hour show. By the way, what? Huh?
I was gonna say, I think 55-ish is close enough.
Close enough. We're only.
Well, I do have some other questions.
Go for it, Nick. What else you got for us?
I mean, first I was gonna say, I think the multiplayer is just gonna sell it for me, so I might just have to go with GTA 5 over Saints Row. And the other question is, do you think GTA 5 is going to replace Last of Us on Game of the Year?
Ooh.
I mean, I'm kind of doubtful about it, but there are some people who are really saying, it just might knock it off.
Yeah,
so.
It might. Honestly, Last of Us is up there, but I don't know if it'll be my Game of the Year. Because, I don't know if you'll be able to really do this too much, Nick, with the video game side of things. But, towards the end of the year, of course, we're going to have to do our top, I'm going to leave it at top 5 for you guys. Because you guys didn't play as many as I did. But basically, just try to get, we'll do a show where we do our top 5 games of the year and all that. And, I don't know. Last of Us is good. It has potential. I'll have to, think about it when the time comes. But we have a bunch of other games that can possibly knock it off. Arkham Origins. We got the new Assassin's Creed. We got GTA 5. Hell, we don't...
Watch
Dogs. Yeah, let's not forget about the big guy. When we got Beyond Two Souls. We got a bunch of fucking games coming out that are big titles that were pushed back or teasered at last year's E3 and this year's E3. You know, Last of Us was a great game, but it has some competition. It's not like it was going. If it was 2012, if that game came out then, it would have been Game of the Year. Well, I know it still wouldn't have because Witcher 2 was still shits on that game. It would have been up there though. Because last year really only had 2 games worth a damn that were really good. Anyways, it has some competition. GTA 5, all that crap. What game are you guys excited for? It's still coming up. Most of all.
I don't know. It's a toughie between Batman, Assassin's Creed, and Watch Dogs for me. And The Witcher 3.
Well, Witcher 3 ain't coming out this year.
Okay. Kingdom Hearts is up there too, but I don't know when that comes out.
Oh, they're coming out with the HD collection thing soon.
Yeah, I don't give a shit about that. I'm talking about 3.
Okay. I was like, I know they're coming out the HD collection. 3 ain't coming out.
I don't need 1 HD. I already own 1.
I'm just telling you, unless you want to earn trophies and achievements with it, Nick. No,
it's not even coming out on the Xbox.
Oh, is it not?
It's PS3.
Well, no one gives a shit about trophies.
I'd probably say Arkham Origins is probably my kind of most anticipated. I mean, Watch Dogs might have something up there because it's kind of something different. Nothing I've really seen so far, but I don't know, man.
Well, I guess they all look beautiful.
Yeah, they all look beautiful at this day. And I want to say they all look beautiful, but I put back in my HDMI cable for that Scourge game. Still doesn't look the best. I mean, the character models look like shit. Besides the character models, the game doesn't look. I mean, the backgrounds and stuff don't look bad, but God, they fucked up on the character models. So it is possible to get new games that look like crap, but I don't know. I have to be in your boat there, Nicky G. Arkham Origins really has me excited. Arkham Origins and Watch Dogs is up there because that's another vigilante game where you're.
See, for me, Arkham Origins looks cool and all, and I'm definitely going to get it, but I'm not as excited for that as I am for the actual sequel.
Oh yeah, Arkham City sequel is going to be amazing, but Arkham Origins, people are kind of down on it right now because they don't have the original voice actors,
or the original developers.
Yeah, it still has WB. It's actually WB, which is the publisher of them, and.
That's what I'm talking about, the developer.
I know. Well, WB is also developing this game, but I have no bad blood with WB games because they do The Witcher. They publish. Well, they're a good publisher. Let's put it that way. They're an amazing publisher. Developer, I can't recall any off the top of my head of games they've developed, so I would like to see what they do. But there's no way they can fuck it up because they already have the engine. They already have the way it.
Yeah,
plays.
well, like I said, This game is made by the people that made the Arkham City Wii U, or the Wii U Armor Edition, whatever.
I don't know how that well played because it's on the Wii U. So I mean, they basically.
It's still. I'm just saying they have all the mechanics of it. They
have everything.
They didn't get any of the big budget names.
They didn't get the big budget names. Which honestly, the guy. Mark Hamill says he's done doing the Joker as it is. So.
Which is why Arkham City ended the way it did.
Exactly why Arkham City ended the way it did. And so, with the new Joker, the Joker voice, he's doing his best. I honestly would have preferred John DiMaggio because I liked his version of the Joker, but whoever they got going, he's doing an adequate job. The new Batman, honestly, it may not be Kevin Conroy, which I don't know why Kevin Conroy would turn down.
It's not
I know. I don't know why he would turn down that check because fuck all else. What's he doing?
I looked up on IMDb. I don't know his name, but. The guy who's playing the Joker played Robin in Arkham City.
Interesting. The guy I don't know who the guy playing Batman is, but he's doing a Batman. All you have to do is, as long as you can get the nice gravelly deep voice, you got Batman. Okay.
And I know Nolan North is coming back as the Penguin and the Black. Black Mask.
He's doing Nolan North. Yeah, that dude does. He's an amazing voice actor. And I'm excited to see some of the villains. I'm excited to see they look like they kind of changed Bane a little bit, so he's not so just me, angry, brr. He's more like, I'm big and strong, I have like a Mexican accent that I can't do, but he's big and strong and.
Hey man, how hard you to do Mexican accent?
Okay, yes, he sounds exactly like that. But yeah, he's
so intimidating.
He's so intimidating. Batman's like, oh, seriously? And then he gets thrown through.
I'm just picturing him as a chihuahua with a mask on.
This is before he got the venom. And we got that. I'm excited to see Deathstroke because I almost started reading the new 52 of Deathstroke just because I became a huge fan of him. Deathstroke, Deadshot's going to be in it. I like how Black Mask put a hit on Batman, so you get to have all the mercenaries in the DC universe basically are going to be hunting Batman, and that right there kind of gets my jollies off. So, I don't know. Anything else you guys want to talk about?
I do got somewhat kind of
all
news. Right. I mean, it kind of goes along with the question, but did you guys hear about what Xbox One is possibly going to be doing with this new troll server?
What are they doing?
Basically, they're gonna kind of make a separate kind of server for trolls.
Oh yeah,
they're going
I heard about that.
Like if you have it's kind of going to buy something like a kind of a score system or something. I mean, not like a reward system, but basically, if you hit a certain point of of griefing people and trolling people, they will put you on a separate server to where it's going to be you and the rest of the fucking trolls.
I think that's a novel idea. But then again, you're going to get that one troll who hasn't yet been put on there, trying to mark everybody he sees. I mean, granted, maybe you need quite a bit of points. Like, maybe if you're a complete asshole, you have to have a lot of points. So it's less likely to happen. We don't really know how the points is. But for the most part, I'm actually in the camp of, yes, go for it. I don't like playing with those people. No one likes playing with the trolls. No one likes playing with that racist 12-year-old. No one likes playing with that one dude who, like, griefs people because, oh, you guys all suck at this, bunch of slack-jawed faggots, No one likes playing with those people. Let them play with you.
We're back in our Red Dead days when, you and me would just go hunting, have a jolly good time, and some guy would follow us to the ends of the earth just to kill us.
Yeah, to be fair, though, that was more of a kind of sort of competitive, some not. That's, honestly, if you go by that aspect, we were trolling people. When we would be in the co-op area, we would have to stick a dynamite blowing people up. In a way, that is trolling, but that is not mean trolling. It's not like we would follow people to games trolling them, or
we only did it to people we felt deserved it.
We'd only do it to people who wouldn't leave us alone. People would just follow us around. We're like, go away. We didn't just hunt people down. So, in a way, we were sort of trolling, but we were just trying to keep the privacy. Yeah, we're great multiplayer people. Me and Nick like playing multiplayer, but, more co-op with each other and fuck the rest of you.
Well, I mean, there are different types of trolls. Like, even on WoW, I mean, for me, there's like about 3 different types of trolls. Really, there's the simple troll that, verbal would be like, just like, you suck or you fail, which is pretty easy to get by. You put them on the ignore list, and then you say something like, oh, well, you suck and I'm better, because then they'll want to respond to you, but they can't because they're on your ignore list. So, doesn't that piss someone off more than when they can't get their point across?
So, you're on their ignore list, but they could still tell you suck?
No, well, pretty much, if I put someone on my ignore list, I could tell them they suck. Like, they could put me on their ignore list, too.
That doesn't make any damn sense. If you put someone on your ignore list, you shouldn't be able to contact them. That's what I like. Like, what Xbox does that, where, you can block people if you don't want to talk to them. But if you message them, guess what? They're unblocked. And they can message back, because that's kind of poor. I don't know.
but you can't. It doesn't unblock you. It doesn't remove you from it doesn't unremove them from your ignore list. So it's just kind of a fun way just to kind of fuck with them, especially if they started something, then they won't be able to get their say back, and they just get pissed off even more.
Yeah, I just think that's kind of a flawed mechanism there. But yeah, it's it's the internet, whatever. If you don't like talking to people, you do what I do. You play a lot of single-player games and maybe just play multiplayer with a mic off. Or no mic, I should say.
Yeah, like the other troll would probably be like a simple, stupid joke troll, which is basically like, oh, do you think the Chinese should apologize for Pearl Harbor?
The Chinese?
It's just like,
oh, okay.
Yeah, that's a joke.
I was like, is that part of your joke?
People are supposed to correct.
I was like, is that part of your joke?
Yeah, that kid didn't pay attention in history.
I know, Nicky G did not pay attention at all in history. He was just like, yeah, one of them slanty eyes. They bombed us. We got killed them all. I think they were called the Vietnams? They bombed us, Pearl Harbor? Yeah, that was the whole Vietnam War.
I know for a fact all three of us were in the same history class, so.
Exactly.
Yeah, so, yeah, that's basically our show, guys. I hope you liked us shooting the shit about video games, a little bit about movies, about, yet again, I gotta stop finding news stories that just drive Brandon insane, because that shit just pisses me off.
News story. Brandon find news story that doesn't drive him insane.
Oh, yeah. That's our show, everybody. Like us on Facebook. We're just called the Bloody Screen Podcast, so it's not hard to find us. Subscribe to us on YouTube so you can get all our YouTube goodness. Or, even better, go to our site where you can comment, and I will actually see it because I don't know if YouTube actually informs me if people comment on this YouTube. But, anyways, yeah, comment on our site. Let us know. Ask us questions like good old Jason did. We will answer. I will either answer you personally and answer you on the show. Let the other people answer the question. So yes, ask us questions, give us your feedback, and, above all, if you would like us to check out a certain game that maybe no one else has checked out, I have to put a disclaimer. It cannot be a PC game because my PC or my capture card does not capture PC games. So, little disclaimer there. But if you would like us to, play through a game or just, shoot the shit about a game or check out a game, let us know. We will do it. Or to the best of our abilities, for the most part. It might take us a little time. But anyways, that is our show, everybody. Goddamn, I have a lot to say about the end of that shit. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.